Hi college students! Last week I got a whole slew of comments about my video about procrastination that I made while procrastinating. I can't say that I disagree with you. Anyway, I thought that it would be funny to sort of continue on with our trend of talking about things we shouldn't be doing, and I'm going to answer this question today about how to stay awake during boring lectures. I don't get horrible grades, I study pretty well, I do a pretty decent job, but I'm not gonna pretend like I listen in every class. So you've come to the right place. When you want tips on staying awake, I can provide you with those. Tip number 1, perfect your handwriting. I have a 5-subject notebook and I am taking 4 classes, so the last section is pretty much devoted entirely to working on my cursive. Hayley J. Hoover, Gryffindor. It started off just as something to do to pass the time, but I got pretty good at it actually, and now I write everything in cursive. So when your teacher is talking about something that's not requiring all of your focus, maybe pick up on a new hobby of the sort. And it doesn't have to be cursive. You could practice multiplication tables or something if you wanted to. Better yourself. That's what college is for. Tip number 2, play buzzword. Typically after a couple meetings of a class, you're gonna pick up on words and phrases that your professor utters a lot because they've probably delivered the same speech like a million times. Within my English major, there are a couple of words you cannot escape. Juxtaposition, postmodern. I keep a tally. It helps me from drifting off. Every time I hear juxtapose or juxtaposition or postmodernism, I leave a mark, and if at the end of the day they've reached more than 10 of one of those, I reward myself with a cookie or something. I'm a really good student. Tip number 3, get work done for a different class. I can't tell you just how many of my videos from my personal channel that I have written during linguistics class. It's maybe not something to totally brag about, but when I'm forced to sit there and my only options are to listen or to go inside my own head, I get so much more done than when I'm at home with all my distractions. And finally, my last tip is calculate just how much this class is costing you, whether it's your parents paying for it or you're paying half of it, or you're gonna have to be paying it in student loans for the rest of your entire life. Find out about how much is going into this class, and then write that number in the upper corner of your notebook. Every time you're reminded that you're paying actual money for this class, it'll maybe make you think like, oh, I should probably listen today. But if that doesn't work, refer to steps 1 through 3. Next week, my Monday video falls on the 13th of February, which is the day before Valentine's Day. So I'm thinking we should do a special, Valentine's Day episode. So if you have any questions about, dating in college, or what to do when you're by yourself and lonely in college, or whatever, I don't really want to get into Joe's category, his sex and dating videos, but anything that relates specifically to university, leave them for me, and I'll address those next week. Cool, I'm gonna go write the word postmodern over and over and over again in perfect cursive. See you next Monday!